Is this the best mini drone for beginners? That's the question I wanted to answer. So I took my camper van off grid into the high desert at the base of the Sierra Nevadas to test this. The Skyrover S1. It's a new budget-friendly version of the Skyrover X1 that promises to keep that same smart flying experience Skyrover is known for. If you ever wanted to start flying drones without spending a fortune, this little guy might be the one. Let's check it out. This video is sponsored by Skyrover. So here's what you get in the combo box. You've got the Skyrover S1 drone, the remote controller, 3 flight batteries, cables, spare propellers, a tiny screwdriver and a bag to fit it all in. Everything is well packed, light and feels solid in the hand. Getting started was honestly super easy. Make sure everything is charged. Then unfold the arms and connect your phone to the controller. That's it. The Skyrover app walks you through the setup step by step. The Skyrover S1, a new drone by Skyrover, and we just want to test it out and see how this one flies out in this beautiful environment. I did make my maiden flight on my last trip with my camper van and took off right from my camping table. And immediately it just hovered perfectly still. That's thanks to its built-in GPS positioning, downward vision sensors and infrared stability system. Even in a light desert breeze, it stayed rock solid. It gives you that instant confidence you know it's not going anywhere unless you tell it to. Before flying too much, let's do a quick 360 look at the drone itself. The S1 is compact and beautifully balanced. You've got folding arms, a 3-axis gimbal camera at the front, and smooth matte plastic that feels surprisingly premium for a drone in this price range. If you look closely, you'll see the downward sensors underneath. They help it hold position and detect ground when landing. And up front, you've got a forward-facing infrared obstacle sensor. That's a big upgrade for beginners. Ports are all cleanly laid out in the back. USB-C for charging and data transfer, and a microSD card slot. The S1 is super light, under 249 grams. So in most countries you can fly without registration or a pilot certificate. You can literally throw it in your backpack and take it anywhere. For me, that's what makes drones fun again. Freedom without paperwork. Now for such a tiny drone, the camera is impressive. You get a 1/2-inch Sony sensor, which gives you crisp 12 megapixel stills and smooth detailed video up to 4K at 60 frames per second. And it's all stabilized by a real 3-axis mechanical gimbal, not just digital stabilization. That means even when the wind picks up, the footage stays perfectly smooth. I was flying over rocky terrain and through gusts of wind, and the horizon stayed rock solid. That's pro-level stability in a beginner-friendly drone. This one's a blast. You can draw a box around yourself in the app or just tap on the subject and the drone automatically locks on and follows. I tested it while riding my 18-wheel off-road scooter through the desert and it did a great job. It kept me in frame, adjusted smoothly when I changed direction and didn't lose track. It's a fun, hands-free way to get dynamic shots. If you're new to drones, QuickShots are your shortcut to cinematic clips. These are preset flight patterns that do cinematic moves with just one tap. We'll test all of those in just a second. Another thing that stood out is the battery life. Skyrover claims up to 40 minutes, and I got about 32 minutes with some wind and active tracking on, which is still really impressive for such a small drone. Skyrover Skybridge video transmission gives you 1080p 60 frames per second live feed up to 12 kilometers away. That's way more range than you will ever need, but what matters is the strong connection. Even for out in the desert, it never dropped. For this price range, that's seriously good. When the battery gets low or you hit the return button, the drone climbs up, turns and flies right back where you took off, landing softly every single time. It's reliable and one of those features you don't think about it until you really need it. When you're off-grid like I was, that kind of reliability is peace of mind. Now let's talk about safety, because this is where Skyrover really improved things for beginners. The S1 combines downward sensors with a forward-facing infrared obstacle avoidance system. That means if you're flying manually and something is in your path, like trees, the drone senses it and stops. It doesn't try to fly around like high-end drones, but it's a major upgrade for new pilots. It can save your drone, your nerves, and maybe your wallet. Alright, let's talk about the fun stuff, the smart flight modes and QuickShots. This is where the Skyrover S1 really starts feeling like a creative partner, not just a flying camera. I started with the QuickShots, which are pre-programmed cinematic flight patterns. First up, the drone. This one flies backward and upward at the same time while keeping the camera locked on you.
Obstacle sensing unavailable. Fly with caution. 3.
I set it up next to my camper van, hit start, and it just pulled back beautifully, revealing the whole desert valley behind me. That's the kind of shot that instantly makes your video feel cinematic. Next was the rocket, basically a straight vertical climb with the camera pointing straight down. It's great for showing off where you are from above. Watching the desert shrink below looked amazing. Then I tried Circle, which orbits around you in a smooth 360 motion while keeping you perfectly centered in frame. I stood next to my van and it nailed the rotation, stable even in wind. After that I switched to Helix, which is like a combination of Drone and Circle. It spirals outward and upward while orbiting around you. This one looked incredible, wide reveal, background spinning out beautifully. And finally the asteroid. That's the one where it flies up, stitches a panoramic sphere and creates a cool tiny planet effect. The S1 processes it pretty quick and the result looks wild. Once I was done playing with QuickShots, I moved over to the smart tracking modes. First up was active track. I set the drone to follow me while I rode my off-road scooter across the desert. It locked onto me right away and stayed perfectly centered even when I changed direction or speed. Next up was spotlight mode, and this one is awesome for cinematic shots. So we have spotlight on now, okay? Spotlight is on. It just follows me wherever I go here. It turns around, and if I actually fly, so manually fly, it just follows me as I go. And if I go the opposite direction, that should also work. Wow, that's how we can do it, huh? You pick your subject, and the drone automatically keeps it perfectly centered in the frame while you focus on flying. The camera handles all the pan and tilt moves on its own, so you can fly around, push in or up without worrying about framing. And finally the POI, or point of interest mode. So point of interest is basically, it just circles around you and you can adjust the speed and you can adjust the height and the distance from you. So if I go even faster, so it goes faster around me. And I'm walking and it just circles all around me. Huh? You pick a subject and the drone automatically circles it while keeping the camera locked on. Overall, these modes work great. Simple to set up, and the app gives you control over distance, altitude and speed depending on the mode chosen. If you're new to flying, these QuickShots and smart modes are your shortcut to getting professional looking footage right out of the box. So, is the Skyrover S1 really the best mini drones for beginners? Honestly, it's right up there. It is the budget-friendly version of the X1, but it still gives you a similar flying experience. Stable, smart and cinematic, just in a cheaper package. You get great 4K video, long flight time, obstacle sensing and a price that makes it accessible to almost anyone. If you're new to drones or just want something easy to carry and fun to fly, the S1 is a fantastic choice. Skyrover really nailed the balance between simplicity and performance. It's one of those drones that just makes you want to fly. So yeah, for me the Skyrover S1 earns its place as one of the best current beginner drones. If you want to learn more about it, there's a link below. Check out the video next to learn more about filmmaking gear and how to use them. Thanks for watching and see you next one. Bye for now.